So the beginnings of it really started 22 years ago when life just wasn't working the way I thought it would work, and had my own sense of there's more to there's a bigger thing in life than what I was trying to create on my own. And so as I started giving over to a bigger source of guidance, a bigger source of wisdom, and surrendering my sense of ego, the things that I thought I knew how to do to work my life, things started unfolding for me. So again, that's kind of that curiosity, that path that led me into a traditional tradition, Catholicism, and did a lot of ministry with youth and young adult ministry, family ministry, which was just a great ground for learning how to be with people. Again, I typically am with people in their hardest times or their less than stellar moments. So it taught me how to really just accept people where they are and to be very open myself. So to be very, again, authentic and real with people. And from there, then, as my understanding of what this spiritual, however you want to name the higher, because what I practice is inner spiritual direction, meaning people name it in all different ways. Some practice traditionally Christian direction. I do it with those who name it Christian through a very Christian lens, but would also name it in a wide variety of ways. And as that box gets bigger, as we have this bigger, deeper encounter with the sacred, the divine, that has led into the practice of one-on-one spiritual direction, sitting with people. And so similar to the therapeutic model, but different, because we don't problem solve. As a spiritual director, we hold that people have the answers deep within themselves. Everybody has that spark of the sacred, spark of the divine. An independent business lets me explore. And so an independent business really allows for the opportunity to do that, but to be tailor specific to people, because we're all unique and unrepeatable. And so to be able to find out, becoming the deepest you is different than becoming the deepest me. And so an independent business really allows for that to be very specific and very unique to each person that I am privileged to be able to be with. What I find really exciting about Grand Rapids, especially I would say within the last 5 years or so, I've noticed, it comes out of a traditional, it's got a very, I guess, religious kind of framework or context to it to begin with, to explore the spiritual. But in the last 5 years or so, that box is kind of broken open. So there's a lot more diversity here. People are exploring a lot. I think it comes out of the local food movement that has spiritual components to it. The LGBTQ movement has spiritual components to it. There's this widening circle of people who are stepping up to the table, and everybody needs to know and wants to know what is the deeper meaning and purpose for my life in the context of who I am, not who I have to mold or conform to be. And so as people are opening that exploration, I think Grand Rapids, one, holds the context because of its background as being fairly religious to begin with, but now to explore it beyond the traditional mainstream ways people would explore it. I'm not a really astute practitioner of social media. I'm learning it myself, and I find how it's been benefiting is I really, especially from Wounds to Wisdom workshops, it tends to be my biggest source of promotion. People that I haven't crossed paths with any other ways in social media seem to find the event, and I think that's because of the boost, the ads from Facebook. But it gives me a reach that I wouldn't have otherwise. I also find that with social media, I take it really, again, as relational as I would sitting down with somebody. So I'm not afraid to go to the vulnerable places of sharing, and I find that people respond in that way. So social media, I guess typically sometimes people think that social media is our best versions of ourselves. I kind of like to be are not best versions of ourselves, our most authentic versions of ourselves. And that's how I find that social media really grows my business.